Bishop Neil, as you well know, the history of this, but I think that perhaps before we go into the conversation further, just to give a little bit of that history. The fact of the matter is that in the church in Southern Africa, we have 3 institutions of higher learning, and that is St. John Vianney Seminary, St. Joseph's Theological Institute, and St. Augustine's College. The fact of that matter is that these institutions have been running for many years and very successfully. Of course, for the seminary in Pretoria, St. John Vianney, and for St. Joseph's Theological Institute, the main focus has been on the preparation of young men for the priesthood, although not exclusively. Now, of course, as we face new challenges in the country, it's very apparent that we feel that we could be doing far more together rather than as 3 separate institutions. And a particular concern, of course, is that we really need to provide opportunity for lay people to further their education in terms of theology and philosophy and understanding of the church, ecclesiology and scripture and so on. But also the fact of the matter is that even in terms of secular studies, if those could be offered, the church can also give a great deal of ethical basis for people as well. And so that's more or less what we've looked at in the past, and that's led to the present discussions. Now, as we are aware, there are many different models of this, but the fact of the matter, it's not just that easy just to bring 3 institutions together and to create that synergy. A lot of technical know-how has to be utilized to see how this can be done. And I think that that's where the discussion is at the moment, is looking more at getting that broad vision and what it would actually involve in terms of the nuts and bolts, if I can put it like that.
That's correct, Cardinal. We're motivated by basically two ideas, and that is financial sustainability of our institutes in the country and the vision to create a broader spectrum of education in the country from the Catholic Church. We are trying to bring in experts who understand the higher education space, who understand financial modeling of institutes and the modeling of program qualification mix to help us understand where we are right now in our 3 institutes and where we could be in the future, and to model different scenarios that will help us eventually decide with the 3 institutes where we need to go.
And I think the process has been very synodal, if I can say that, because we haven't just determined what the final outcome should be. What we've said is that we need to get together with representatives of the 3 institutions, guided also, as you say, by experts and by people who are in the field of education, and together to try to determine what would be the most effective and the best possible path to follow, and that would also be cost effective. And I think that that's been a tremendous inspiration for me to see how these discussions have gone, and the participation and the expression of both hopes and anxieties that have come forward and how these have been dealt with. But the fact of the matter is that we're trying to do it as the church. It's not just the initiative of the bishops or of the institutions themselves, but we're trying to incorporate as many people as possible in the discussion.
That's right. You used a very important word earlier, synergy. And that has been the outcome of our first workshop that we've had around these. We've started with a lot of anxiety, not knowing where we'd go, but after a day and a half of talking to each other, understanding the present challenges and threats to our different institutes, also understanding what specific values each of the institutes bring to the table, we ended up with a great feeling, a common understanding that we need to do something to sustain ourselves as the higher education in the Catholic Church, and we can only do that in cooperation with each other. So a beautiful synergy has been developed, and we want to take this further with continuing workshops and discussions around the topic.
So I think that really was summed up what you were saying there, simply by saying that the institutions, each one is doing great work, but together we can do much more.